Hello and welcome to my channel, Living Life to the Full with Carol, which is me. It's good to have you here. If you're returning and you've watched the previous one or two videos, and it's great to have you back. If this is your first time with me, then you're very welcome, and by all means go back and watch the videos that came before. This is part 3 of a series of videos for our visit to Zakynthos, to the resort of Alykes, back in a few weeks ago. So I really hope you enjoy this. Please, if you can, subscribe, like, it will help me to get the channel out. Thank you to those who have started to comment. It's lovely to read your comments, and I will get back to you with your comment. If you've got any questions, let me know. Yeah, but if you can just help get this channel out there, that would be great. But anyway, enjoy. We're off into the second week in Alykes, and there's lots more to see.
Good morning. So we're back down on the beach today. We just had a bit of a morning walk and then had some breakfast. So we come down to the beach. I think it's going to be a beach day. It's very hot again, but I think it'll be a beach day today, and we'll see what the rest of the day brings. So welcome back to Porto Paradiso Beach in Alykes, and a beautiful, beautiful day. So Porto Paradiso Beach on a beautiful, calm morning. It's just so relaxing down here in the mornings. But it's getting very busy. The whole resort is actually much busier than we thought it would be. But I'm sure, I think it will probably quieten off a bit over the next week or so. So the beaches are pretty full, but it's still beautiful, still calming, still so relaxing. Out there to the jetty. And then that sea just goes out for ages. It's really shallow, so it's really safe. If you've got kids, it's just brilliant. And I'm not a great swimmer, so I don't have to go out my depth to be able to get out into the sea and just really have a good dunk in the sea. I tend to like to float around in it as well. But whatever you are, you can swim, you can snorkel. It's all just beautiful. Such a beautiful beach. So we decided on a change of scene for lunch today, especially because I just fancied some sardines. I haven't had any since I've been here, and I love sardines. So we decided to come to Moby Dick's. There's Mike doing his filming as well. And I have got, let me just show you, sardines, lovely salad chips. Mike's gone for some citrus chicken. So we're going to enjoy this today and enjoy the view from Moby Dick's, sitting here looking out over the beach. Backdrop, it's actually quite late tonight. We stayed on the beach till nearly 6 o'clock because it was such a lovely day. And actually this afternoon we had a bit of a breeze come up, so it was really lovely. And we'd already decided we weren't going to go out for dinner, so after that huge lunch there was no need. We certainly didn't need another meal. So we actually I just cooked us some chicken and we had some salad here. Just a little snack really to keep us going. So I think this evening we're just going to go out and take a bit of a walk. It's cooler in the evening, so we can get a bit of a walk. I think probably we'll have a walk around the salt flats. We want to pop into the supermarket, pick up some more provisions, and we'll find somewhere for a drink. So wherever we stop and find a drink, I'll probably let you see that as well. I'm really enjoying this holiday. This is the first time we've done a sort of self-catering abroad, although we've had the facilities before. We've tended to go out and eat every night, but 2 nights now we've chosen just to eat here, and it's just really lovely to come back and relax, just put something together when we're ready, and not feel like we've got to get out, find somewhere to eat. And I just think having our own base here, one of the recent things we said with it being a 3-week holiday, was we wanted to sort of almost see what it felt like to live here. And I know it's not a realistic thing, we're not here to live here, we're here to have a holiday, but it's just really nice to be able to relax and just have our own base and know that we can get food when we want it. So yeah, it's working really well. See how I feel? We're coming up towards the end of week 1, and at the moment I'm feeling really relaxed. It's a very relaxed holiday, and we've been able to get out and walk as well. So yeah, really good. So let's see where we end up tonight. Let's take you along and I'll show you where we end up having a drink tonight, and maybe even what I have to drink. See you later. You'll see from the pictures that we'll add into today that we went down to one of the beach bars for some coffee, Animos, which is down the other end of the beach to where we normally are, and had a nice coffee there. It was really nice. I think we're probably going to go there for a lunch or another meal at some point. But tonight it's a lovely night. It's breeze is blowing. So we are probably going to go to Porto Paradiso for dinner tonight for the first time. About time we went back to our home base. But we're probably going to go for a little bit of a walk up the river first, call in at another restaurant that we really love to see if we can book a table for tomorrow night, because they often get very busy, and then go and have a meal at Porto Paradiso. So I'll take you along, show you where we're going, and show you our meal at Porto Paradiso, which I know will be wonderful because every meal that Dennis just dishes up there is absolutely brilliant. So another evening, another meal, another beautiful night in Greece. So we've made it down to Porto Paradiso, and I've got my all-time favourite as my starter. So this is feta in phyllo pastry with honey and sesame seed. That is a whole block of feta, and that's just my starter. And Mike's got his bruschetta, so we're going to dig into this, and then we've both got fish coming after this, so I'll show you that when it turns up. And soldiers this morning, just like my childhood. I'm really going to enjoy this, something a bit different. And then we followed that up with some nice fresh peach. Yummy, yummy.
A wasp.
And as Mike has just said, a wasp. Unfortunately, it is wasp season here, so they are a bit of a pain. There you go, you can see them having a good little buzz around. But they're not too much. As long as you just wave your hand, they disappear off again, so it's fine. So we're going to enjoy our peach, and then I guess we might get our stuff together and head towards the beach.
So this evening we've come along to Paradixiaco, which is one of our really favourite restaurants, really lovely food. It's along by the river, and it's much more of a restaurant than some of the tavernas. It's really nice table service, and we've just bumped into an old friend here, Alykanas, who used to work at Porto Paradiso the last couple of years, and we got to know her, and we didn't know where she'd gone, and she's here tonight. She's come running up to say hello, so that's been lovely. So we're just going to have a meal here. I'll take some videos or some clips so you can see what we have. But it is a lovely location and really lovely food, as you'll see when we get it. So yeah, and lovely to meet Alykanas tonight. Oh, great.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Am I?
And that one.
Looks good.
It's a little camera. It's so
Yeah,
really
so
handy.
cute.
It's really handy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You see the flower. That's what she's saying. You know it's all that. Oh, sorry. So, having had a lovely walk and down into Alykanas this morning, we went to the greengrocers down there. Fabulous vegetable shops, had all sorts of fruit, and I managed to pick up some lovely figs. So this morning's breakfast is yoghurt and honey and figs. Yum, can't wait to eat this. So here we are again in an olive grove, and I just thought it might be worth mentioning why olive groves are so important here. All over the island of Zakynthos you see the olive groves, and most of the people that run all the hotels, the bars, all the places we stay, they also have their own olive groves. So most of the population here work from May to October in tourism, and then that everything closes down at the end of October, beginning of November, and they all head off to do the olive harvest, and they spend November through to April harvesting and processing the olives. And so all the olive oil we have here is so yummy because it's actually mostly produced here. And actually, believe it or not, this tiny little island in the middle of nowhere produces the fourth largest export of olive oil. So it's used on the island and is exported. So you need to look out. Greek olive oil, did it come from Zakynthos or not? Because I tell you what, it's really good olive oil. So I just thought you'd like that little fact as I stand here in an olive grove again this morning. And we do absolutely love walking through the countryside here, because it is the sun filtering through the leaves, the silver on the tops of them. And we're just beginning to see the olives really forming because we're only a month or two out from the harvest. So there's a little bit of facts for you about Zakynthos. The olives of Zakynthos, the fourth largest harvest in the world from this one little island. Without olives, Zakynthos wouldn't exist, I don't think. So there you go, there's the olives beginning to form on the tree. And you know, as we're walking through these olive groves, I thought it was worth mentioning, I've just read a book by Chrissy Parker called Among the Olive Groves, which is set here during the Second World War. And then the follow-on book, which I think is called Night of Thunder, which I've just finished as well, which is part 2 of the series, covers another event that happened on this island. Back in 1953, a massive earthquake destroyed almost the whole of Zakynthos and neighbouring Kefalonia. We're going to Kefalonia tomorrow, so we'll take you on a trip of Kefalonia tomorrow. But it completely destroyed both islands. There's very little left that was here before 1953. As we walk through the olive groves and through the countryside, you'll occasionally see buildings that have fallen, you think, into disrepair, but probably are the ruins of that earthquake. And so both islands had to completely rebuild after that. But the thing that remained were these, the wonderful olive groves, the heartbeat of the island. And so Chrissy Parker's books are really good. They're lovely. They're really good novels with very strong characters, but they are set on the island. And if you've been here and you've visited, you can just imagine the whole thing. So I've loved reading them while I'm here, and I can't wait for her to bring out the third part of the series of 3. But there's a recommendation all about the wonderful olives of Zakynthos.
We had some coffee the other day. It's just such a lovely setting, and Mike has managed to find his dream drink because he is a lover of ginger. So Mike's got a lemon with ginger, which looks lovely, and I have got a Negroni, my first one of the holiday. I actually prefer my Negroni with Aperol, and they were able to do that, so it's great. And we're just waiting for our food. Mike's ordered. What have you ordered?
Jack Daniel's burger.
Oh, he's got a Jack Daniel's burger, and I've got a lovely Greek pizza coming, so I'm looking forward to that. So, Yamas, we'll let you see the food when it gets here.
Well, there's not many places in the world that I do this. I'm not a swimmer, but this beach is just so safe. It is so shallow. You can go out for ages and stay in the depth, and therefore floating in the water isn't a problem. Although today it's a little bit wavy, so get the odd bounce around. But it's absolutely glorious. The water is really lovely, and the view can be much better, really, looking back over Zakynthos. So, what a beautiful place to be able to relax in the sea. It's a little bit more wavy today.
Maybe when we come back.
So at the moment we're in St Nicholas, which is the port at the very northern tip of the island, and we're going to get a ferry across to Kefalonia. Once we're over there, we're on the coach and we're visiting both the Melusini caves and the Jogohizi caves. We've got a lovely lunch stop, some viewpoints, so we'll try and show all that to you. We've been to Kefalonia once before on a cruise. We popped into the main port there. But we never got to tour the island. For the last day of our cruise, we just wanted to chill out. So really looking forward to seeing the island and sharing it with you as we go on our way. So let's see what Kefalonia has to offer to us today, shall we? Any moment now we'll be on that ferry and on our way across.
So this is the ferry that we got on. You can see in the distance there. It's quite a large ferry. It's got the coaches as well, with 2 coaches on it. It was a lovely crossing, really still, really warm, all lovely views of both the islands we went over. And we sat on the outside, as you'll see in a little while, which was really warm, lovely up on top. In fact, we had to find some shades. It was so hot some of the time. And but there was also an indoors with very comfortable seats, much more comfortable than up here. That was a cafe, had snacks and drinks, so everything you could need if you needed anything on the way across. We were fine. We had breakfast before we left, and then beautiful views of both the islands. And this is views of us coming into Kefalonia. Very different island, very flat all around the edge, much flatter around its edge, but much higher mountains than in Zakynthos as well. But beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and loved the views as we came in, sitting in the sun. And then off you can see that's where the coaches have come off, picked up the coach to go for our trip around the island. And got lots of views on this coach trip, and lots of information. The guide was great, telling us loads about it. So we were able to look out, see over Alykes, which is the capital, which we actually went to on our cruise. And then we arrived at this church, absolutely beautiful, and that gave us views out over the whole area, and then on to this other viewpoint.
Our lunch stop by this beautiful beach. Just listen to the sound of those waves. So far we've had a drive around all the various sites, and we're about to have our lunch. Mike and I are both going to the Slovakia for lunch, and then I think we go on to the cave, so we'll show you some of that. Mike's been very busy with his little camera and selfie stick, so I think there'll be lots of lovely footage for you guys to see of the trip around here. But this is just where we are for lunch. And there's Mike, busy with his camera. You see, set in this beautiful garden under the eucalyptus trees. Just a fabulous stop for lunch. Looking forward to this. This is down at where we are for this lunch. I've just come for a little wander down. Got this lovely water wheel which feeds the water through, and then that goes into this beautiful lake. This tower. Absolutely beautiful here. We'll put some stills in as well. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, it's fun.
After that lovely lunch, we then went on to the caves. These are called I think it's, if I can get it right, Melisani Lake, which is basically an underground cavern that's then opened up above, and it's deep blue waters, lovely, and they put you in these little boats, just a few of them on each, and then the guides actually pumped you out through and row you out through the caves. See all the stalactites and the stalagmites, and you can see right up out at the top there as well. And the colours on the walls are phenomenal, lots of different colours from where all the walls are formed over the year. Much cooler in there than it was outside, but it's really worth going in and seeing all that. Really enjoyed it. You see the colour of the water is absolutely stunning. We then went on for a short ride just around the corner really to the Drogoriti, I think it's Drogoriti Cave, something like that, Drogorati. I'll get right to put the name up on the screen. But these are deep caverns, and it was deep. It was a long steps down. They were perfectly safe, but it was steep and it took a long while, and the coming up was even harder. But you can see it was absolutely worth going down to see the formations down there. We didn't actually go into the final little bits because it went down very deep. But I understand from some that did that was also really stunning. And then we drove on through the valleys, through the most beautiful, down into a deep valley, very lush and green, lots of beautiful stuff growing, to visit this monastery, which is actually called Agios Gerasimos Monastery. And the nuns and the monks were there. It's quite a big monastery, but it was just so beautiful and quiet and serene. It was just lovely. Just behind that tree you can see a church, which we then went round to see from the front. And this church was built as a memorial to all those who died in the 1953 earthquake. Both Kefalonia and Zakynthos were devastated by earthquake in 1953. And then the final stop of the day was a little village up in the hills. It's really beautiful, lots of lovely little shops and lovely views. And we just had the opportunity to walk up there. And on the way up, we got a chance to chat to these two. This is Adam and Emma of In Our Case. Check out their YouTube channel and their Facebook. They were actually recording the trip for the day for Jackie, who runs Nefis Travel, and we had a great opportunity to catch up with them as we walked through this village. Mike and Adam compared notes on videoing and vlogging, and they were just really supportive of us, and then we ended up back down at the port to head home. And that's our trip home. It was a little bit rougher on the way back, the wind had come up, but still lovely, and the end of a beautiful day. So we're going to bring that to an end there. That's because I'm looking at the time and realising we've got almost half an hour. So we're going to stop there with our day trip over to Kefalonia, and we'll carry on with week 2 in the next one. So I hope you enjoyed that. The trip to Kefalonia was really good. It was a long day, but Nefis Travel just do such a brilliant job. We learnt so much about the island, and it was just so lovely also to meet Adam and Emma and chat to them about their YouTube channel. They moved to Zakynthos a few years ago and set up their business there, and they were actually working that day doing a record for Nefis for their publicity. But yeah, big shout out to them. Love their channel. It's worth finding out. We'll put links to both Nefis and In Our Case in the information down below. And don't forget, if you want to see more, please do subscribe, like, ring that bell so that you know when it's coming up. And thank you so much to those who I have had comments from in the last few days. And I hope you enjoy this one as much as we did going and enjoying our time there. And we'll catch you in the next one.